down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends around the world, today is the Savvy Radio Show, and I got a really good friend. I'm telling you, I'm about to get back into the groove, and it's no greater, better than to get in the groove with a business partner of sorts, a friend of sorts, and an all-around amazing man making a difference in the world of real estate and construction. And this could be a very long intro because it's actually interesting. I met this individual at the real estate club, but it was through a friend. I hired this gal to work for me to promote Savvy at the local RIA. And she ran into this guy, and this girl that I hired, she's an outgoing DJ, superstar DJ, Jocelyn Chang, and she connected with this guy, and he had a construction hat, shirt on, very professional, that he has DJ experience. And I'm like, okay, this is really random. A DJ guy at a real estate club, and I would have never reached out to him if it wasn't for my friend Jocelyn. So I was like, okay. So I connected with this guy. He has this weird, amazing spirit that's just calm, and you just want to do business with this guy. And so at this time, I was doing some work on my property at my own residence, and I was like, I feel like I can trust this guy. So I hire this guy to install a retaining wall. And so then I really tested him. I blasted him a couple times. He showed up on the job site with flip-flops on. And I was like, bro, you don't ever show up to a job site. But, he's cool like that because he could do it. Jesus rolled around with flip-flops. And I was like, all right. Anyway, so other than that, then we just became close friends. He's a great mind for learning and growing and wants to learn and grow and read more. And I love people that are like that. And we became friends, and we've flipped some deals together. And so I know this is an extremely long 2-minute intro, but I think Roger Godwin deserves that kind of intro. Well, welcome to the show, Roger.
Hey, I appreciate it.
It's cool. So just a real quick data. You've been in construction since 18 years old.
Yep.
Wild. You've only been kind of doing real estate 4 years. And you own a company called Cheyenne Ventures, which is kind of cool because it's a construction company / money ventures.
Yeah.
Real estate ventures in general. All right. So where did you come from, and how are you becoming a rising star as a wholesaler?
Well, Stephen, thank you for letting me be here today. One of the main things that I've done with my life is I've always been a person to learn from those that have been there and done that.
Smart.
Because I always would rather learn from those that have done it or those that have messed up and learn from their mistakes.
And don't do it.
And don't do it. So I've always been my father was a very wise man and told me to make sure to learn from those that have been there and done that. So I've really taken that to heart over my whole life.
All right. So how old are you now?
I'm 33.
Okay. You've been in construction since you're 18?
Yep.
How'd you get into construction in general?
Well, actually, my dad told me to have a job that would work in an up economy and a down economy. And construction is always a way to make money. I mean,
sure,
anyway,
service-based business.
Absolutely. It paid for both my wife and I to go to college with no debt after we got out. So I was very blessed and learned from a old school guy and gutted 9 houses and put them all back together. So
dang,
I know how to do it all. Whenever some people say I know how to do it all, they don't really know how, but I do.
Sure, I know your wealth of knowledge. So you've been around investors, landlords. I mean, I know that wasn't your main cup of tea, right? Because there's really no money with landlords because they just want to do it cheap and get it. I love your philosophy, how you bid jobs now, but that's another episode. So what gave you the bug to get into real estate? I mean, construction, a lot of successful guys make good money. Why real estate now? Why be a wholesaler? Why own rental property? Why do all that?
Well, the main reason is because of the fact that I know that doing real estate will build long-term wealth to take care of my family over the long term.
Right.
And with the wholesaling, I was very prayerful for about 6 months and trying to figure out how to implement both my construction company into real estate and it'd be a smooth transition. And with the way that I do the wholesaling, it allows me to have a real estimate that's that I can stick to whenever I actually wholesale a property. You know, we're almost batting 1,000 with getting a wholesale deal, and would do the remodel also.
Yeah, and I totally think that's your niche. I mean, I've seen your reports. You get a property under contract, which is tough enough. Like me, when I get a property under contract, it's like, okay, I did it. You get it under contract, and then you're like over there getting a legitimate, real estimate. Because when I get a property, I'm broad strokes, but because you have several crews, exactly what it's going to cost that investor. I think, and I want you to elaborate on that more, and how'd you come up with that? But I think that your success and why you're I'm an amazing wholesaler is because this last deal we just did, the gal that bought the property, she hired you as the contractor at the same time. So she wanted a turnkey operation. She wanted a wholesale deal because I've coached her and I've helped her to get to where she's at. And I was like, you got to buy property at 70%, 75 okay. If it's in a desirable neighborhood, 70%. So you factored all that in because you're a great wholesaler. You knew you got to provide profit for the for the investor. Mm-hmm. And then you tacked on the construction. She called me after you talked to her and saw your report. I was like, let me see this report. She's all like, I don't know if hot and horny is a good word to say. I don't know. But she was jazzed, I guess you could say. And she's like, I'm going to get this deal to 145 or 67. I'm not sure what it ARV'd at, but it was at least 150. You're selling it to her for like around 75-ish, and then 25 on the rehab. 100,000 is going to bring in almost $2,000 a month, a home run. So what gave you that concept? How did that go? I think that's your unique selling position, providing concrete, legitimate estimates. Tell me about that. How'd you come up with that idea?
Well, like I said, I was very prayerful about how to actually implement both things. And the main thing is that I wanted to add a service that was a need, because I know a lot of wholesalers and they're great people and they know how to get stuff under contract, but I know there was an element missing to having accurate bids to be able to really make sure that investor hits 70% or 75% at the highest. So for me, I don't even present a deal to somebody, or I won't take something under contract unless I know I can get it 75% or less, because it has to be profitable for the end buyer.
Right. Plus, you don't have to advertise.
I mean, it's nice.
I love it. I've seen a couple of your advertisements, and they were sold by the time they hit the Facebook page.
Yeah, man, they're gone.
All right, so construction. What I know your heart's changing from being construction for 18 something years,
yeah,
and moving on to wholesaling. What do you like about wholesaling, and why wholesaling?
Well, the main reason why I like wholesaling is because of the fact that it allows me to connect with people. I've done a lot of extensive sales training and how to, really build a bond and rapport. Finding the why is probably the biggest thing that I've come across whenever it comes to actually selling somebody to, sell me their house. So with wholesaling, I just have an opportunity to be able to serve people. They're in a tough spot. We got one guy out right now in Yukon. He's almost in foreclosure. And he's just like, man, I just went out and I want to take a little bit, take care of my family to get being back on my feet. And, with numbers that are working right now, we're going to be able to do that, take care of him. So
through wholesaling, and there's enough profit for you.
Yeah.
So you come in there. If you don't know what a wholesaler is, they come in, they negotiate, and then they kind of basically sell the contract, and it's called an assignment fee. Mm-hmm. And you factored all those profits in there, and for yourself. And do you have a matrix? Is there a certain number that you're looking for, or is it when you get a call? What's the first thing that goes through your mind? Like me, how much am I going to make? I mean, no offense, I'm just going to call it what it is. I mean, people try to dance around. I mean, is it really worth my time? You seem more of a servant type, and nothing wrong with that. Just what goes through your mind? Like, are you trying to serve them first and help them? Or, I mean, obviously you got to provide for your family too. Right. So what goes through your mind when you get that call?
So the first phone call that I get whenever somebody calls me is, hey, I got a property. Money is obviously a big factor.
Sure.
But the first conversation is I'm always going to make sure to meet with that person in person at their house, walk through it. And then I have a team, CMAs from realtors. We do our estimating. I go through the report. I spend probably an hour or so of my time doing that. And then I just find out their why. I build that bonding and rapport with them because I need to know their why. And whenever I'm getting to know that why, I get to know the person. And
okay, so how about money? Let's talk about money because, I struggle. People ask for me to coach them. I don't know what to charge them because I just love to help people. And I think that you're the same way. But you come from a construction background and you charge people for your services. How do you talk them down in price? Like, are you nervous about money when you ask them? Like how do you start negotiating with them? Like this Yukon house, walk us through this Yukon house. Because usually owner occupieds are pretty skinny in the deal. Right.
Well, this one actually wasn't too bad. I actually have we like to call them an army of ambassadors. There's a great book by Bob Berg called The Go-Giver. And I highly recommend anybody that has a servant's heart in business to read that. And the one thing is that you have people that are on your team that are always thinking about you to say, hey, I heard somebody's trying to sell a house or somebody needs a construction job done, whatever it might be. And you're that person on their mind because you've built that relationship. So I got a call from a guy named Aaron Wall. We did some work for him on a house over by the Gatewood district.
And he's an investor?
He's an investor.
Okay.
Yeah, they do high-end flips. And with him, he called me and said, hey, I got this guy. He got back to me because I sent him out one of those yellow cards, which I've never done.
A yellow letter?
Yellow letter,
like a direct mail campaign?
Right.
Okay.
And so he called me up. I gave Shannon a call. It turns out that he's a landscaper. So we were able to really bond over that, situation. Blue collar. We're both in the grind.
Out sweating.
Yep. Stupid warm weather.
It's getting warm already.
I know. So talked to him about kind of the house, what's going on. I met his dad there the first time, did a walkthrough. He's been renovating it himself. So it's not too bad. He's owned it since 97.
Was it an owner-occupied, or is this like an investment property?
Well, he went through a divorce.
Okay.
So he's living currently with family, and then I don't know where the wife went or whatever. But so the house is actually empty, so that's kind of nice being able to have access to it. So walked over there, walked through it with his dad, took some pictures for my report that we do, and sat down, had a conversation with him. It's like, well, I'd really like to get this much out of it, but I'm okay with getting this much, a
certain number. And was that number right on?
That number was really reasonable.
So then did you back them down from there?
No.
So it was that simple?
Yep.
All right, that wasn't a good story.
I know. Well, I don't.
Did you sell that house already?
I'm sending out the report today.
Oh, okay. Yukon, do you know the numbers already? Let's get it out there. This is going to post this tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, so Thursday this is going to drop.
Yeah, it's going to drop. So this house is 68.5. As long as we sell it before the 18th.
It's got to close May 18th.
Got to close May 18th.
68. What's the ARV?
The ARV is 105.
Okay. So it's $30,000. So 70%.
Yeah, 70%.
What kind of rehab does it need?
It needs about $6,000.
Wow. What's the size?
It's 12.5.
Wow. 3-bedroom, 2-bath?
3-bedroom, 1-bath.
Okay. In Yukon, what's the rents?
Rent over there, my family's been renting out there forever, and it's about $900 to $1,000 a month.
Okay, is it brick?
It's brick.
Sold. I would buy it.
Done.
I mean, I don't want to take this one, but hey, I've had a lot of fun over there in Mustang, Yukon, but super duper hot area.
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of these other wholesalers out there would juice that up to 75. Is that what your 68 is? Your number is what you're going to sell it for?
68 is what we're going to sell it for.
Fabulous. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's how you do it. That's how you wholesale.
Yeah.
Right? Because you could be greedy. I mean, I don't need to know what you're making because we could talk about that on the next one. But the thing is, it's like, I would drive out there and I would look at that property.
Right.
And if it made sense, I would gobble it up. It's a moneymaker. And so I know I've been seeing a lot of emails from everyone's a wholesaler today. I wonder how long that's going to last. But everyone's a wholesaler, but they'll tack on another 5. And I understand. We're all about making money. We have expenses. But the thing is, if you want to be the best wholesaler, you got to leave enough room for them and turn deals and sell them fast and get the ball rolling and have a reputation. So congratulations on that deal. It'd be a record, to sell that property. All right, let's move on. So that's kind of your wholesaling thing. We'll get to the big picture dream here in a minute. But every time I see you, you're very busy. I mean, seriously, like, I don't know. I mean, you're at every real estate meeting, club. You're a political fan, not a fan of the politics, I guess, for what's that going on, but for making a difference in the community, being politically, whatever the F you do. But how are you getting these bids done? Are you going home? And I know you just had a new office, but I know you've been doing this for a long time. But how are you? Do you have a laptop in your car? Do you do this on your phone? You said you took pictures, and then what?
Okay, so I have this wonderful app called Joist.
Ooh,
Joist is wonderful.
Spell it.
Joist.
Joist me up.
Joist.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I do is every single time, and it allows me to do the estimate. It allows me to do the invoice. It allows me to do whenever people pay me right there, boom, boom, send an email. I just had a guy at the RIA meeting last week, and he wrote me a check right there. It's like, all right, take a picture, put it in, send him that email right there, 2 minutes.
So Joyce does estimations for you, and it keeps track. So it's like a monthly service that you subscribe to?
It's free.
It's free.
Yeah.
Wow. And so that's how, so you're telling me right now that you're on a property in Yukon and you're going through it, taking pictures, making notes. Hey, needs a new sink, needs this. And you punch all this stuff into your phone.
While I'm there.
While you're there. And you click a button. It says $7,000, right? Because you added it all together. Mm-hmm. And it does the estimate for you.
Yep.
And it sends you that right then.
Yep.
I think I'm hot and horny.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Dude.
It's awesome. I love it.
Just for myself. I mean, just for my regular day job, going out rehabbing houses and doing make readies.
Yep.
Outstanding. So I'm going to end this podcast right now. And no, and
go to work
and jump on Joy. So this is, and you have an Android phone. So I'm so proud of you because when I first met you, you had an Apple phone.
Hey, you can't argue with free,
And I had to beat you up at least 10 times. I'm like, when are you going to get rid of that deal? And you came on the dark side. So that's where the players play.
Well, the best thing about Droid is the fact that I have wonderful nerd friends. Everybody should have nerds in their life.
No doubt.
Absolutely. But, whenever I was traveling all over the country and I had to have a Wi-Fi spot, I could turn my phone whenever it's a Droid and not have to pay for it.
Sure.
Yeah,
totally.
Versus Apple.
Yeah.
Makes you pay for everything.
Yeah, whatever. I know that I actually am writing an episode on phones. I know. I didn't want to get the hate mail because as soon as I blast this stuff on Facebook, people go ballistic on me. All right, what's the big picture, man? Where's this going? And did you ever think that you would be here? You have 3 kids now, right?
Yeah, I got 3 kids.
And so you started out blue collar, working your tail off. Because I know when you did the retaining fall for me, I mean, there was nights that you were there at 8 o'clock at night.
Oh yeah,
managing your guys. And
woo, yeah.
I'd call you up. I'm like, you stole my shovel. No, I didn't. You said my buddy did. So where's this going? And tell us, what's your big picture? Is this where you want to be?
Yeah, overall, the big dream is to make a lot of money to give a lot of it away. That's my passion in my heart, is to serve those that can't be helped. I was very blessed at a young age. I was 19 years old whenever I went out of country for the first time.
Cool. Where'd you go?
I went to Brazil. And funny story about that is I was going to college to be an EMT. And I did all my clinicals. And then I went to work at St. Anthony's. So I said, all right, God, if I'm meant to do this, send me something to make me not do it, And he did. I can't handle smells very well.
Or blood for me.
Oh, blood, I'm good.
Okay.
I've been stitched up. Porcelain toilets are my enemy.
True.
But anyway, so I did that, and that after that night, I was like, all right, I'm just done. It's not meant for me. Had an opportunity to go to Brazil. Took a 7-hour F on that EMT class.
Wow.
But I got back up. So God's good.
So you went to Brazil as on a mission trip?
Yeah, on a mission trip. We went down there and we built a church in 7 days. 6 days, because we had service in the old church that Sunday that we got there. And we had service that next Sunday in the new building. Right
on. So you going there, seeing indigent people and the lifestyle that you have here in the States, it just motivated you to help them?
Absolutely. And the main thing is that, I have a local ministry that I do. I mentor a couple of young men.
And I met him, that cool guy.
Yeah, Dougie and Seth, they're good kids, and I also have another guy that I mentor through a ministry and CBMC, and that's a wonderful business men's community, and being involved with that with Paul Timothy, accountability and encouragement, for guys. And with that, I went there, and even the poorest in America still have it good.
Sure, living large.
I've traveled to a lot of different countries, built churches, and I've seen real poverty. So my heart's out there. My dad always said, make sure to have a local ministry, but if your heart's really overseas, but have a local ministry to impact your community first, right, and then go out from there.
So basically, you want to do well in what you're doing, so you can give well.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Is there? Have you ever quantified like what number that would be? Is it like through so many real estate transactions, like rental property, or is it like 10 million, 5 million? Is there a specific goal, or how soon do you want to give? I mean, you're giving of your time, and I know you're giving of your resources now. Mm-hmm. What would, if I could wave a wand, what would that be? What would that number be, if there is a number?
Well, it's not necessarily a number specifically, but it's 20% of the net profits of the companies that I make. And with construction, it's always up and down, on those things. We're getting better on that. But with the wholesaling, I had a great opportunity through the missionary that I went to Brazil with, 15 years ago, and had an opportunity to talk to him, and because we're starting a foundation to basically build buildings in foreign countries to allow ministry to be happening there, and for after school programs to happen there to help the local communities. So with that vision, I told him what my plan was to get there, and it was through wholesaling. And he said, hey, I got this guy. I need you to meet him. And he's told me, because of your heart and what you want to do, you want to impact the kingdom, that I want you to meet this guy to make this happen. And, we're going to be very blessed in this business, and, best case scenario, be able to do about $250,000 a year.
Cool. In real estate transactions, wholesaling?
That would be the 20%. Cool.
Man, it's a big dream, big goals. So what's your focus right now? What's going on in your world today? Like this week? What do you see yourself doing, and what do you want to do in the next couple of weeks, months, whatever?
Yeah. Well, right now, really focusing on doing some mainstream stuff with my company. I run 4 crews. I got, actually 5 crews now.
Yeah, and you just picked up a house yesterday.
I just picked up 3 houses this week.
Okay.
And we got 2 more closing this month.
Full on construction?
Full rehab deal. So we got a good system that we've implemented, and gonna knock them out just like builders do.
Right on. So starting out in construction, doing this, having 3 kids, is there anything that you wish you would have done differently?
Implemented systems a lot earlier.
Yeah, that's why we work together.
That's why we work together.
Yeah, right on. I love that. System saves the world, and I know that's like so dramatic and so like cliche per se, but it really does. I mean, I can give hundreds of stories of how systems have saved me and in business dealings. All right, rookies out there. All right, what would you give a guy sitting on the couch right now, really wants to get in real estate? Scared, nervous. What advice would you give that person?
Talk to as many people as possible.
Good advice. Go to your club meeting, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I get that a lot. And just talk to people. And what questions should they ask?
For me, the questions I like to ask, I really hate that question. Oh, what do you do? My new...
I want to pick your brain.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah, pick your brain. I don't know. Yeah. Ask me the right questions, I can give you the right answers, I guess.
And there's no bad questions.
No, not at all. And don't be afraid to ask questions is, probably the best thing is that, you don't want to look dumb or look like you're ignorant of things. And, but it's okay because people are willing to help, especially here in Oklahoma for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
ask questions. Yeah. I'm assuming did you have a mentor early on going on? I mean, because I know you have several mentors that help you in specific areas. So
right.
Was that a key factor for you?
I would say that was a key factor in it. The guy that taught me, his name is Phil Lighthill. He's 76 this year. So he came from that old school, know how to do everything.
Right. And this is the construction guy?
This is a construction guy, but we got in 9 of his houses that he's invested in Bethany. And so at early stage, I saw that,
Cool.
in my young adulthood, and being able to see, all right, so what are those numbers? What does that look like in the long term? And, those types of things. So from an early young man, I was able to actually get that. And, man, just listen and talk. And, I was talking with my guys whenever I was dropping them off at a job. So if I was in the mafia, my name would be the Mouth.
Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Just talking to people, man.
Sure.
I always have people, are you on the phone again? Are you still on the phone? Will you get off the phone so we can talk? So.
Well, that's how you get business done.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we're going to cut this one down right now, get you back, because now you're on fire with wholesaling. So we're going to bring you back on all the things that you've learned about wholesaling and all the mistakes that you've learned. But Roger, it's been great. Is there a phone number or email that you would like to share? Because I know there's someone out there that has the same vision or dream, and maybe just a ministry or given times and talents. Do you have something, an email or a phone number?
Yeah. My personal cell phone is 405-464-0411. I'd be happy to talk to you about anything. And with Wholesale Consulting is my Facebook business page. And what we're doing with that is that if you are a wholesaler that's wanting to get into the business, we're happy to help you. And you bring us a deal, and I don't make money until we both make money.
True, right on. So I'm assuming you just start splitting things up with people.
Splitting them.
Right on. We split a couple deals, so I'm happy about that. I just got paid today.
Yeah.
So, Wholesale Consulting.
Yep.
So I go inside Facebook and I just type that in.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and soon-to-be kids listening to this. We're going to do a kids episode. No, I'm just joking. Whatever you do, go out, buy assets, do something different that you've never done before. Call someone that you haven't never called before. Call Roger. He's open. He's available. He does like to talk, but it will be worth your time. If he's busy, because he's just starting to become a wholesaler celebrity in my world, because I'd buy that Yukon deal, but we're going to give first shot. So he's going to blast it out today, but this will be late when you hear this. But anyway, first come, first serve. Thanks. And you should buy that asset. 68,000, 75 in it, 74 in it, worth 105. Shoot. 70, 73, 4%.
Yep.
ARV, almost a no money down. If you use a good bank, do a no money down deal, or use your line of credit, gobble it up, then go refinance it 30 days later, and your mortgage payment, taxes, and everything, got a good loan, probably around $550, $600. Say $1,000 a month. Let's say net $300 to $250. If you're not paying attention, maybe $200. Sounds like a smoking deal. Tenants pay your payment forever. Why wouldn't you buy real estate, buy assets? Whatever you do, go do that. Steve Van Kallenberg, the Savvy Landlord, signing off.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook, and always be buying assets.